Wrestling and the law tend not to make the best bedfellows. I mean, the Mountie and the big boss man to one side, if Vince could keep the long arm out of his business entirely, he almost definitely would. The weird f***er. Anyway, since I'm still firmly in on-court proceedings exciting TM mode from the CM Punk trial, I thought I would pour back through the annals to see what other exciting revelations have been made by wrestlers on the stand. By which I mean I'm going to convert one of Hamlet's classic slices of fried content, giving you a far more visually sensual way to consume it. Reading a website is, of course, let us not forget, for nerds. My name is Adam Cleary, and these are count them, six crazy wrestling revelations that were confirmed under oath. Number 6. Hogan and Warriors Juice Bar. Contrary to popular belief and admittedly a lot of circumstantial evidence, the 1994 trial that nearly sent Vinnie Mac to prison wasn't about the act of taking steroids, more about the trafficking and distribution of them. The capture of Dr. Zahorian years earlier had all eyes turning towards pro wrestling, and Hulk's brain-dead assertion that "I only took steroids 3 times, brother, and only for injuries," did more to stoke the fires than to extinguish them. The Ultimate Warrior, and bizarrely Hogan himself, were the megastars called to the stand to contradict this claim with their own testimonies about rampant drug use during a time they allegedly believed they were legal. Warrior was the first to come clean, no pun intended, stating that "in my mind," I can't do a Warrior impression, "in my mind and other wrestlers' minds, we didn't think they were illegal at the time. I didn't think anyone would consciously take steroids if they thought they were pouring toxins or poisons into their body. Steroids were a small sacrifice I was going to make." Similarly, Hogan was uncharacteristically transparent, stating under oath, "I lied on..." The accent feels inappropriate. "I lied on national TV when I said I didn't take steroids. I feared the publicity of it. My family would be hounded. My life would be ruined. It was very common. At the time, all wrestlers were using it, and I had a prescription for it." Brother. The juice was indeed loose about Vince's hoose, and wrestling would forevermore be tarnished with the admittedly not unfounded accusations of steroid misuse and abuse. Number 5. Vince is rude to ravishing Rick. In the end, it was a number of inconsistencies that got McMahon off the hook in '94, but the biggest open goal missed by the prosecution was not asking Rick Rude to take off his robe and show all these jurors what a real man looks like. A ripped and chiseled specimen during the entirety of his run with WWE, Rude was another who admitted to using steroids while under oath. But an even more insane assessment of life under Vince McMahon came when he talked about what happened when he tried to not use them. Then, boasting a physique that, yeah, I'll say it, was nearly as good as mine, Rude was shocked to hear McMahon say backstage at a 1988 television taping that he didn't look good. Trying to connect the dots after this unexpected criticism, Rude approached McMahon and told him that since he was trying to start a family, he wasn't on anything. McMahon shrugged his shoulders and said maybe he should consider pushing himself, which Rude took as explicit instruction to just take more steroids. This is a picture of Rick Rude at the time. I'm off. Number 4. Nails in the coffin. While the Cleary-esque sculpted frames of Hogan, Warrior and Rude were the biggest get for those trying to secure a prosecution, Vince's best defense ended up being Nails, a man who, yes, wrestled his entire career covered up. While on the stand, he claimed to remember the aforementioned Rude-McMahon conversation, but then decided to go all the way in on the chairman with crystal clear recollections and accusations that could have completely buried him. He testified that he, Vince, said I needed to get on the gas. I told him I would not go on steroids to get the job done. He told me, sometimes life isn't fair. Do what you gotta do. The ball's in your court. Sounds pretty bad, that, but then cross-examination from McMahon's legal team undid the entire testimony. Answering with a firm yes when asked if he hated Vince McMahon, and then making it worse by saying he hated his damn guts. Nails' entire time on the stand ended up being hugely discredited, along with the entire case itself. Doesn't mean it didn't happen, though. Number 3. Punk is a chick magnet. Right, so I'm throwing this one in here now because I've mentioned it in 2 videos already, and every single time I've either had people commenting or seeking me out on Twitter going, we knew that already, did you not see the documentary? Yes, I did, everybody did, everybody saw that, but that's not what we're saying. We're saying that he's now said it in court, so it is a matter of indisputable legal record. The man has been taking the piss with the CM letters for years now, and now it's over. The joke is finished. That's the interesting part. Punk has said in the past that it stands for Chick Magnet. Yes, we know, but he's also said that it stands for Chicago Made, Chicago Mafia, Cookie Monster, Charles Montgomery, absolutely loads of things. But now, under oath, on the stand, in a courtroom, he said it stands for Chick Magnet. You might have already heard it, you might have already suspected it, you might already have even been convinced by it, but right up until he said it, in that trial, you didn't know for definite. That's why it's interesting. Do not at me. Number 2, McMahons Got Two Words for you. Public relations. Wait, seriously? Not quite the sort of catchphrase the company are likely to be slapping all over a t-shirt anytime soon, but Vince telling the ethical decision makers to suck it was another headline grabber right when the company did not need it. Uttered in 2007 during questioning from, and I've had to write this down, the House Subcommittee on Commerce, Trade and Consumer Protection and the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. Really glad I didn't get drunk at lunchtime. For once, McMahon was forced to detail the dark underbelly of addiction issues in sports entertainment. When asked why, in the dark shadow of the Chris Benoit double murder-suicide, he'd chosen to extend the offer of paid rehabilitation, he said, and he actually said, and I'm not even going to do the voice, it's that serious, "I do not feel any sense of responsibility for anyone, whatever their age is, who has passed along and has bad habits and overdoses for drugs. It is a magnanimous gesture." Basically, I don't give a shit if somebody dies because they wrestled for me, but I'm such a top bloke, I'll get them help anyway. Number 1. Wrestling's not real. I mean, Vince McMahon was already a grim reaper of sorts, according to any promoters who'd survived by the late 80s, but in front of the New Jersey Senate in 1989, he killed it for the kids as well, the f***ing bastard. It was in this discussion that McMahon confessed that his product was predetermined and said that the entire industry, he said under oath, the entire industry was an activity in which participants struggle hand in hand primarily for the purpose of providing entertainment to spectators rather than conducting a bona fide athletic contest. And why did he say this? Why did he break the hearts of so many youngsters and those "it's still real to me, damn it" types? To save a little bit of money. By having wrestling deregulated by the state sports authority, it meant he got out of having to pay trivial little things like, medical clearance, and got around a number of fees and taxes that sports had to pay. I mean, just like Punk's name, yes, most people probably knew this before he said it, but the fact that he did it under oath was seen as this huge watershed moment in an industry that was now unrecognizable from itself only 10 years ago. Oh, Vinnie Mac, you 800-year-old cross between a haunted tree and an angry, living bastard prostate. You killed the dream. So there you go, 6 crazy wrestling revelations that were confirmed under oath. If you've got any more of your own, shout them out in the comments below. And oh god, the subscribe button's behind me, isn't it? I can't better look. Ah! Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to continue your adventure on YouTube, check out one of the 2 videos now appearing at nipple level. But either way, thank you very much. My name has been Adam Cleary, and I'll see you soon.